Okay, so you said there were 8 of you?
Yes, 8 kids, yes.
In this house?
Yes.
Yes.
Plus
Tell me
mom,
more
plus
about that.
Mom and Dad.
Tell me more about that.
Ron, being the oldest, and I was an only child for about 4 years. And then Ron came along, and Mom thought I would be very jealous of him because I'd had all the attention. Instead, I loved him. He was like another doll, a baby. And the most unusual thing in my earliest remembrance of him is that I had stayed with some of their friends in Shelbyville while Mom was in the hospital. And I knew that, okay. All right, I think he's gone. So I knew this baby was coming, and I love dolls. And so I wanted to see whether he had shoes on. That must have started my shoe fetish way back then. But I remember Dad walking up the front sidewalk and taking my hand and out to the car, and Mom was, of course, in the front seat with the baby. And the first thing I said, I want to see his feet. I want to see if he has shoes on. So she showed me. No shoes. But yeah, I dearly loved Ron. I would push him. I had a buggy, and I would put him in the buggy and pushing him around out here. I had a little tricycle that somebody had given Dad, and it was a tricycle at the front, and then it had a little wagon that was attached to it. So I would put Ron in there, and he'd sit and hold on to the sides, and I'd pedal him all around the sidewalks around here. I have a picture of that Mom and Dad must have taken at some point of me having him there in the back of the tricycle.
So the other part of that then is I conned David in, which is younger, to push me around in the little red wagons.
And he did it.
And he did it, yes, yes.
I can remember playing Duck, Duck, Goose in the snow. Do you remember that?
No.
It was a game that you made tracks in the snow in a circle, and then there were you made cross things. I don't remember much about it, but I do remember you and David, and you had these matching snowsuits.
Yes, I remember.
And one was brown.
And one was red.
And one was red. And so we kids watched out for each other. We really did. We took care of each other. So we would, and I think Mom was always glad that we were interested in going and playing outside because I gave her a break. And so, yeah, when the little ones came back in again, we'd make sure they get their snowsuits off and get dry clothes and so on. Then Nancy came along after about 3 years after Ron, and then after that it was it was Dan, and like every 2 years we had another sibling, and I loved it. I loved all the babies coming in. I just couldn't wait. I knew Mom was expecting when she would get all the baby clothes out of storage and wash them all and hang them on the line. I thought, oh my gosh, another baby is coming. I'm so excited. So that was Dan, then Dave, and then Cher. And Cher's 14 years younger than I am. She was actually my 14th birthday present because when she was born, mine's November 14th and hers is the 7th. So back then women stayed in the hospital for a whole week. And so Mom brought her home on my 14th birthday. And then Steve came along 2 years after that. And then Amy was born after I had graduated from high school. And I was headed into nursing school in August, and Amy was born in August. So we really didn't live at home the same time all the time because I would come home on weekends or vacations or breaks in school, whatever that was. But yeah, we've grown up very close. I think because we spent so much time together, and we didn't have anybody else to play with. I mean, we had no neighbors to play with. So it was just us, and so we had fun. And Mom and Dad had great traditions for us that they created. One was the pumpkin carving that we would do. And
We still do.
That's right. It has carried on. Yes, I think you've had that here too. Right. So that was always fun. Christmas was always wonderful. Dad worked in town, and of course, we only had one car. So Mom would tell him what to get for Christmas, and there was always it was always fun. There were always presents, not a lot, but it was always fun. And I remember one year when you opened something up, and I think it was a truck, and you said, "Look, Dave, look what
Yes.
we got." So,
Yes.
so that just showed how much we cared about each
Yeah.
other. It was.
I remember. I think Dave still has a truck.
Oh, does he?
I
Yeah,
think he
I wouldn't be
does.
surprised. Yeah.
So the other one then is you just talk about traditions and doing stuff. Croquet. We played croquet all the time.
Right. Yes, right here in the side yard.
Yeah, yeah. The other one was the summer that you and I played badminton.
Oh yeah. Right. We
So
did.
that was the whole summer that there was no wind because you can't have any wind to play badminton. um,
And we didn't mind the heat.
No,
We came out when
there's-
it was hot and sticky and humid.
there's no air conditioner,
No,
so
no, we were out here. We did. We learned to work together too in assembly lines, like dressing chickens.
Mhm.
Everybody had their role of the whole process, and so we knew what we had to do, and we made it happen. And canning things from the garden, and we had an enormous garden. Um, we would work together. Mom would have the kettles out here to like blanch the corn in, and Dad would get them from the field. He'd take some of the kids out there to get the corn, and we'd have it in the barnyard for the cattle. And yeah, it was just.
but not only was there work, but there was playtime too.
Oh,
Dad
yeah.
he was big on the playtime.
Oh,
Do
yeah.
your work, but we're going to play afterwards.
Yeah, right. Yeah. See, there was a swing set one year. We had gone up to those older of us had gone up to spend some time with Aunt Betty, who lived in Kokomo. Kokomo at the time, I think. But anyway, when we came home, he had made us a swing set out of pipes, and it had two actual swings with swing seats, and in the center it had a glider that he had made. And he painted it all green because that was probably paint from, it was probably, I don't know, John Deere paint or something, I don't know. And the seats were wooden and they were red. I mean, that was a huge thing to do. So we played on that a lot.
I remember I helped him make the slide.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So
Wow.
we did a lot of it down at Waldron
Mhm.
at the high school.
Yeah,
And the picnic table. Oh my gosh, that picnic table, huge. And it took 16 people to move that thing. It was so big and heavy.
yeah. Probably made from wood that would then
Yeah.
taken care of through the sawmill and
Mhm.
have been around here.
Do you remember the sawmill or the school at all? You live so close to it.
Yeah, I can remember going there with Grandpa when I was young, and there would be work going on in there. But
Still?
yeah, yeah, right. And some of his hired hands, whoever worked for him, would be in there doing something with the wood.
I heard everybody was missing a finger.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Grandpa was missing those two.
Well, Henry Thoman, he fired the boiler. I mean, that's the way I've heard it. I never see it run or anything. And he was missing a few digits. So,
Yeah, right. Didn't seem to be any. I'd been horrified if I lost fingers. I
Yes.
don't think I'd be alive today. But yeah, that was just kind of what happened when you lived in the country.
Okay.